I chased Ashley for 4 years, and I finally grew tired of it all. I gave up on her and got together with Rose, who liked me. I got down on one knee and proposed to her in front of all our friends and family. But before the wedding, she disappeared. When I found her, I heard her sneering to someone else. The only reason I went after Make was to spite Ashley. Besides, I have my new boy toy now. Why would I marry a man that even Ashley didn't want? But in the end, when I was ready to leave for good, she was the one on her knees, begging me to come back, begging me to love her one more time. I just shook my head, unmoved. What's done is done. 2 months before the wedding, Rose suddenly vanished for a week. I couldn't find her. She didn't answer my calls or reply to my texts. On the 10th day she was gone, I got a tip that she had been spotted in Las Vegas. I dropped everything at work and took the first flight out. I finally found her in a luxurious private suite. Just as I was about to open the door, I heard her scoffing. The only reason I went after Make was to get under Ashley's skin. Once I had him, I realized he was nothing special. Did you guys really think I was going to marry a man that even Ashley rejected? I froze, the words hitting me like a physical blow. She didn't sound drunk at all. In fact, she sounded perfectly clear-headed. Make didn't do anything wrong, though. Don't you think you're going a little too far? Someone asked. He did, Rose retorted. His biggest mistake was being in love with that bitch Ashley. He chased her for 4 whole years, which meant I had to put on this whole act of the devoted girlfriend just to win him over. Someone else joked, "You've been with him for 3 years, and you're engaged. Why bail at the last minute?" Rose sounded irritated, her voice sharp. Because it took so long to get him. I wasn't satisfied. I had to wait until the very last moment to make his pain that much worse. Another person in the suite chimed in. I heard Make is looking for you everywhere, practically going out of his mind. Are you sure it's okay to be gone this long? Rose just laughed. I'll figure it out. I'll go back tomorrow. I'll go with him to the suit fitting, pick out party favors, and mail the invitations. Then, on the night before the wedding, I'll break up with him. It's just a shame I haven't had enough time with my puppy yet. Looking at her face, I couldn't see a single trace of guilt, compassion, or love. All I saw was the triumphant pleasure of someone who had gotten their revenge. The rage of betrayal was so intense, I could barely breathe. I hid in the shadows, a crushing despair filling my soul, a storm of grief too powerful to describe. I had always believed she was the one I had foolishly overlooked for so long. I was certain that what I felt for her wasn't just gratitude, but pure, genuine love. She had shown me such tenderness again and again. She had become my salvation. I never imagined that it was all an act, a show she orchestrated just to get back at Ashley. For 3 whole years, Rose had played the part of someone in love with me perfectly. From start to finish, it was all a lie. I erased all traces of my trip to Las Vegas and went back to the house Rose and I were supposed to live in after the wedding. My mind flashed back 6 years. Make, I like you. Will you go out with me? Her voice was so bold and confident, but to me, it sounded like a devil's whisper. No, Rose, I don't like you. My eyes were fixed on Ashley as I repeated, clearly, I don't like you at all. The air went still around us. No one dared to even breathe. But my blunt rejection didn't deter Rose. If anything, it made her more persistent. The day our final high school exams ended, she confessed her feelings to me again. I stood my ground and replied calmly, Rose, I really don't like you. Please don't waste your time on me. With that, I ignored the stares from the crowd and walked away. Outside the school, I saw my grandmother waiting for me in the distance. She was the only family I had left in the world. Somehow, Rose had followed me, acting as if nothing had just happened. Is this your grandmother? She asked, putting on such a sweet and innocent face that I wondered if she was a completely different person. Before I could answer, Rose jumped in. Hello, Mom. I'm one of Make's classmates. Hearing this, my grandmother's face instantly warmed up. Oh, what a sweet girl. You're a friend of mine, Makes. You two should be good friends. I was afraid of where this was going, so I quickly cut in. Grandma, let's go home. I am hungry. I shot Rose a warning glance, hoping she would leave, but she seemed determined to do the opposite. Grandma, it's been so long since I've had a real home-cooked meal. I'm so jealous that Make gets to eat food made by his family. Then you must come to our house. I'll make you my special braised pork. Seriously? This rich girl was playing the pity card, and just like that, my grandmother took Rose by the hand and started leading her home. The whole way there, I trailed behind them, listening to them chat and laugh. It was like I was the third wheel. After dinner, Rose grew quiet for a moment. Make, thank you and your grandmother for having me. And I was serious. I really haven't had a home-cooked meal in forever. So, thank you. In that moment, the sincerity in her voice felt real, not like an act. I could even feel the air shift as she moved closer to me. I swallowed hard, forcing myself to stay calm. Later, I stood under a dim streetlight, watching her figure recede into the distance. Falling for someone with your eyes wide open is the most dangerous thing of all. And now I know it was all just part of her plan. I still hadn't heard from Rose, but then I got a call from Ashley. "Guess who I ran into in Las Vegas?" she said. "Ashley, I don't care. Don't call me again." As I was about to hang up, I heard the smug satisfaction in her voice. "Make, you still don't get why Rose has been gone so long, do you? She's not going to marry you. She can't get over the fact that you used to be obsessed with me. She only got close to you to get back at me. What's your point?" I snapped, "My patience gone. I'm sending you something. I think you'll find it interesting." After I hung up, a video came through. In the dim light, a man stood in front of Rose. I knew him all too well. It was Jason, her little lapdog. Amid the cheers of the people around them, Rose leaned in and kissed him. My heart stopped for a second. The karma I had set in motion years ago had finally come back to hit me. After I started college, my grandmother's health took a turn for the worse. I was worried about her being home alone, so I moved her into a care facility. It took every penny of our family's savings just to cover the first year. But to my despair, her condition only worsened. Between hospital stays and medication, the money I had ran out quickly. I just finished a shift at my part-time job when the care facility called, demanding payment. I took a deep breath as a wave of hopelessness washed over me. Just then, a red sports car pulled up in front of me, and a woman stepped out. It was Ashley. She carried herself with an air of authority, and I could see a faint smile playing on her lips. "You need money, don't you?" she said. "I can give you $1 million. All you have to do is accept Rose's advances, keep me updated on what she's doing, and then dump her in 6 months." She leaned against her car, looking completely at ease, like a predator watching its prey squirm. "What?" I asked. "All you need to know is that she hates me, and I can't stand her." In that moment, I knew I couldn't refuse. I couldn't afford to think about the consequences. I had to give in. I even felt a secret thrill when I heard the target was Rose. Later, when I finally held her in my arms, it felt like I had found a lost treasure. Everyone was stunned by my sudden change of heart. That same night, the money from Ashley appeared in my account. But after I started dating Rose, I became a good boyfriend. I would wait for her outside her dorm building and take her out to nice dinners. She would playfully ask for hugs and wanted the whole world to know I was her boyfriend. When she got drunk, I was right there by her side, looking after her. But I knew the truth. Ashley was waiting for me to be the one to shatter the beautiful dream she had constructed for Rose. But as time went on, as I spent my days with Rose, my heart felt like it was bursting with fireworks. It would take a lifetime to sweep up the ashes. On our 1-year anniversary, we spent the whole day together. Her bright, youthful energy was like sunshine, chasing away all the darkness in my life. And I finally understood why I was willing to defy Ashley to keep this perfect dream alive for her. She had a way of giving me confidence and courage when I least expected it. On the way back to campus, she suddenly took my hand. "Let's be together forever. Promise me neither of us will ever change," she said. "Okay," I replied. "I promise." My phone buzzed in my pocket. It was Ashley calling, but I had no intention of answering. "Make," Rose said, looking at me with a strange expression in her eyes. She leaned in, her lips brushing against mine like the flutter of a butterfly's wings, sending a jolt of electricity through me. She turned to go, but I grabbed her and pulled her back, kissing her passionately. I kissed her fiercely, possessively, as if trying to merge her into my very being. I whispered in her ear, "Rose, I love you so much." And right at that moment, I heard a familiar voice nearby. "Make." I immediately pulled away from Rose. Getting caught kissing someone is always awkward. I assumed it was a classmate, but I never expected it to be Ashley. Ashley stared at me, her expression as cold as ice. I was flustered. "What are you doing here?" I asked. Her voice was frigid. "Just passing through. And I need to talk to you." I shook my head. "We have nothing to talk about. I need to walk my girlfriend back to her dorm now." Rose stood beside me, looking as proud as a swan. When we got to her dorm, Rose suddenly turned to me, her tone accusatory. "You don't like Ashley anymore, do you? You're not going to go back to her, are you?" I just smiled. "Silly girl. The only person I like is Rose." Later, Ashley cornered me. She stared at me, her voice dangerously low. "Why haven't you broken up with her yet?" I was angry and said nothing. "What is it about her that you even like?" Ashley's anger was rising. She stepped closer, her words like daggers. "Is it because she kisses you? I told you to use her, and you actually fell for her? You really think you're something special now?" I was furious. My fists clenched as the memories came flooding back. When I had tried to break my deal with Ashley, I took out a loan from a loan shark to pay her back, but she refused the money. Instead, she pointed to a 2-story building and told me to jump. Before she could even finish her sentence, I jumped. I survived, but I broke my leg, spent 2 weeks in a hospital, and was on crutches for 4 months before I could walk normally again. But even that didn't satisfy her. She couldn't accept that her pawn had defied her. Behind Rose's back, I cleaned Ashley's toilets for 3 months and polished hundreds of her shoes. I knelt on the floor of her mansion for 3 days and 3 nights. She said if I agreed to leave Rose, she would consider us even. I refused. I loved Rose, and I was willing to do anything for her. In the end, Ashley had no choice but to give up. She let it go, and we even became something like friends. But now, Rose and I could never go back. All those memories that were once so precious had become sharp knives twisting in my heart. It was the 3rd night after Rose had returned. We didn't go for our suit and dress fitting, pick out favors, or mail the invitations. Instead, she rushed upstairs, changed into a red evening gown, slipped on a pair of crystal heels, and headed for the door. I was standing right there, but it was like I was invisible to her. "At least have dinner before you go." I couldn't stop myself from saying. "No," she replied, not even looking back. I don't know when it happened, but Rose and I couldn't even have a normal conversation anymore. When we were home together, the only words we exchanged were simple questions and answers. But today, I suddenly felt the need to say more. "Rose, let's break up." Her high heel, already halfway out the door, froze in midair. The light glinting off the crystals on her shoe seemed to stab at my eyes. Her body went rigid, and she trembled slightly. When she turned to face me, her expression was one of panic and confusion. But the panic vanished from her face as quickly as it appeared, replaced by a calm composure on her beautiful features. "What did you just say, Make?" "I'm on my way to meet my best friend. You know her." Watching her regain her composure, I felt a tearing pain in my chest. "Weren't you only with me to spite Ashley? And aren't you going out now to see Jason? I thought the plan was to humiliate me at the wedding. Did you forget all about your precious revenge because of some guy named Jason?" The words were out of my mouth before I even realized I'd said them. The pretense finally shattered. But once I had, it felt right. There's a limit to how much disappointment a person can take. When it keeps piling up, even the strongest love wears thin until it finally shatters completely. Surprisingly, Rose didn't get upset. Instead, she looked relieved, letting out a long sigh as if she was finally free. When did you find out?" "When did I find out?" I scoffed. "Maybe it started the week you disappeared. Or maybe it was when I found out you were wiring money to the same account every single month. Or maybe it was when we started running out of things to say to each other. There are too many signs. The truth is, the love was already gone. The only thing that kept me holding on was the memory of what we used to have." "Well, it's good that you know. At least I don't have to pretend anymore," she said. "Let's just get this over with so we can both move on." There wasn't a hint of regret or sadness in her voice for what we were losing. In fact, she sounded excited, as if she'd been waiting for this moment for a long time. Even though I knew how she felt, it still hurt. "Rose," I asked, "did you ever love me?" In the past, in our most intimate moments, she always had the perfect answer. She would say, "Yes, I love you so much. I'll love you forever." But now, the answer was different. "No, Make, I don't love you. I never have. If it wasn't for wanting to spite Ashley, I never would have given you a second glance. Do you even know who she is? She's the daughter of a homewrecker. At my father's wedding to her mother, my mom rushed in and stabbed them both to death. After that, Ashley didn't have a mother, I didn't have a father, and my mom went to prison. All they left me was a pile of cold, hard cash. Did she think her mother dying made everything even? I wanted to make her miserable forever, to make sure she could never find love." Her voice was taking on a twisted, obsessive edge. "So what about Jason?" I asked. "He's my true love. I love him. So for him, getting revenge on Ashley doesn't matter anymore." That's right. I was horrified by what I was hearing. At that moment, whatever was left between us was completely destroyed. I clutched my chest in agony, but she just looked impatient, annoyed that I was keeping her from her real lover. She glanced at her watch and frowned, giving me a look that said I should just let her go with some dignity. "Stop the act, Make. Don't try to stop me from going to Jason. Look, I'm sorry, okay? What we had was just a mistake, a joke. Let's just end it here." And then Rose was gone. Her final words were a demand to call off the engagement as soon as possible. In the empty house, her words echoed in my mind. It was just a joke. After a long silence, I whispered into the darkness, "Rose, let's just let the joke be over. I am tired." Just then my phone rang. It was the care facility. I had done well for myself after graduation, so my financial situation had improved a lot. I had moved my grandmother to a much nicer facility. When I rushed to the hospital, I found her lying in bed, looking frail and withered. "Where's Rose?" she asked. I forced a smile and answered as cheerfully as I could. The wedding is just around the corner, so she's been really busy. I told my grandmother we had already picked out the favors, had our fittings, and sent out all the invitations. She smiled, looking relieved. You and Rose have been through a lot. Things will only get better for you two from now on. Now I can rest easy. I mumbled an excuse and rushed out of the room, unable to stop the tears from falling. It seems like fate loves to play cruel jokes on me. I was caught in the middle of a war between two women, and the granddaughter-in-law my grandmother adored was off with another man. I splashed some water on my face and went back into the room. My grandmother suddenly said she wanted to see Rose. I couldn't say no, so I finally broke down and called her. Rose arrived at the agreed time, but she brought Jason with her. I lost my temper, blocking their way. Get the hell out of here, both of you. Your grandmother has a right to know the truth, Rose said. I wouldn't back down. You could die from not showing off your love for 5 minutes. I sneered. Jason, who had been silent until now, suddenly spoke up angrily. Don't push it. You two are broken up. Stop trying to cause trouble for her. He grew more agitated as he spoke. She's been very weak lately. I was worried. That's why I came with her. Rose took his hand and calmed him with a soft voice. Don't be angry. You'll scare our baby. Baby. My stomach lurched. How pathetic. They were having a baby. Unsurprisingly, Rose and her beloved Jason left the hospital together, hand in hand. But that evening, my grandmother slipped into a coma. The doctor told me she was in critical condition. During a brief moment of consciousness, she started asking for Rose again. I frantically called her, and it took forever for her to pick up. I crouched on the floor, my head in my hands. Please, I begged. Can you please come? It's too late, she said. I panicked. My grandmother is dying. Please, just do it for her. Remember how she cooked for you that day. She won't be able to rest in peace otherwise. There was a pause on her end. It's raining tonight, she finally said. And I'm pregnant. He won't let me go out. I swallowed my pride and pleaded with her. You can both come, or I'll send a car for you. After everything we've been through, please, just help me this one last time. She sighed. All right, give me a minute. Then she hung up. I tried calling back later, but there was no answer. She never showed up that night. I think my grandmother sensed something was wrong. Her consciousness was fading, but she kept mumbling, Make, you're not happy. How can I leave you like this? My eyes welled up with tears. I wanted to scream at her not to go, not to leave me. If she left, I would have no one left in the entire world. But I couldn't get the words out. As the sun began to rise, she passed away, her hand clutching mine tightly, her eyes refusing to close. The last name on her lips was Rose's. My world turned to ash. I walked out of the hospital room in a daze. That's when I saw Ashley hurrying towards me. I took my grandmother's ashes back to our hometown to be buried. After the service, Rose showed up. She kept her head down, her face etched with guilt. I'm so sorry, she said. I didn't know your grandmother was really... I showed her the door. Don't call her that, I said, my voice weak. You don't have a right. Make, can't you just talk to me normally? She asked. I just came to see if you needed any help. I don't, I said coldly. But she wouldn't leave, just kept following me around. Then she saw Ashley. What is she doing here? Rose demanded. I didn't answer her. For years, Ashley had been visiting my grandmother in the hospital. She had helped me arrange the entire funeral. She wore black and stood by my side through the whole thing, a true mourner. She was there with me as I said my final goodbye to my grandmother. I was incredibly grateful to her. Make, answer me. Why is Ashley here? Rose's voice grew shrill. What right does she have to be at my grandmother-in-law's funeral? We haven't even officially called off the engagement. What is going on here? I was stunned. How could she have the audacity to say something like that? Just leave, I said. Don't stand here and be an eyesore. She didn't move, pretending not to hear me. Since I couldn't make her leave, I decided to just ignore her. Make, I can explain about that night, she pleaded. I was going to come, but Jason wouldn't let me leave. He blocked the door, and we got into a fight. I got so upset, I started having complications with the pregnancy. She lowered her head, her voice heavy with emotion. Make, that night, I had a miscarriage. My hand, which was arranging offerings on the altar, paused for a fraction of a second, but I still said nothing to her. After a long moment of silence, she spoke again. If I had come that night, would you still hate me this much? I looked up and met her gaze. The sorrow in her eyes was unmistakable. I didn't understand it. What was the point of her, the one who had betrayed me so completely, putting on such a sad face now? Suddenly, the sharp sound of a slap echoed through the quiet room. Ashley had slapped Rose across the face, so hard that Rose stumbled. How dare you show your face here? Ashley hissed. You called her grandma for 3 years, and she was calling out your name as she died. You never deserved Make's love. Do you have any idea what he went through for you? And this is how you repay him? By being so cruel, by getting pregnant with another man's child? You deserve that miscarriage. Jason is a piece of garbage. And trust me, your real karma is still coming. Rose's face turned dark with rage, and she raised her hand to strike Ashley. In that instant, a wave of fury washed over me. Rose, get out, I said, my voice shaking with anger. I don't want to see you again. Make, she hit me first. It was her fault. If you have any respect for my grandmother, I said, let her rest in peace. Make, I can explain everything. I didn't mean for any of this to happen, she said, grabbing my arm. I pried her fingers off me, unable to contain my rage. Rose, it doesn't matter anymore, I said. Ashley gently helped me to my feet. Just tell her the truth, she whispered. It's the only way she'll leave you alone. Ashley's words were casual, but they held the weight of a final, calculated move. In that moment, the words I'd held back for so long finally came pouring out. Rose, were you ever surprised that I suddenly agreed to date you all those years ago? It was because Ashley paid me to, I said. Rose looked completely stunned, as if she couldn't process what I was saying. Her eyes turned red, and her voice was thick with accusation. That's impossible. You're lying. I didn't bother to explain. I just wanted her gone. As Ashley led her away, her voice drifted back to me. Fine, Make. This is for the best. Now we're even. We don't owe each other a thing. After the funeral, I spent 2 days lying in bed, my mind a complete fog. I felt like I was on the verge of death. Then a message from my office jolted me back to reality. I sat up, threw on some clothes, and rushed out the door. I got to the office, and before I could even catch my breath, I heard shouting outside my door. My assistant came in flustered. Mr. Peterson, I'm so sorry. I couldn't stop him. He's been here a few times already. The next second, the door was kicked open, knocking my assistant to the floor. Jason strode in, dressed in an expensive suit, looking down his nose at everything. Well, Make. Sorry about that. Guess I don't know my own strength. Didn't mean to hurt your little guard dog. Jason swaggered over to the sofa, poured himself a cup of tea from the pot on the table, took a sip, and immediately spat it out. Ugh, what is this garbage? You'd think by now you'd have learned to drink something decent. I closed my laptop and met his gaze calmly, holding it until his smirk finally faded. Then I spoke, my voice quiet. I'm not sure what business a piece of uncultured, barbaric trash who barges into other people's offices could possibly have here. Jason's face twisted into an ugly snarl. Beside me, my assistant couldn't stifle a laugh. My calm, measured tone was a stark contrast to his aggressive blustering. You know why I'm here today? He sneered. I'm here to take over. Rose has decided to put me in charge of the company. And you, he snarled at my assistant. What are you laughing at? The first thing I'm doing when I'm in charge is firing you. Jason puffed out his chest, trying to intimidate me. He clearly expected me to be shocked, giving him a sense of superiority. But he was all talk. An idiot like him had nothing to be proud of. Suddenly, Jason's eyes lit up as he looked towards the door. Rose walked in, wearing a black dress, her expression haughty. Make, she announced. From now on, Jason will be taking over the company. You can leave. Rose, you can't be serious. What do you take me for? I exclaimed. Make, if you want this company, I can sign over all of my shares to you. Consider it a gift. I just want a clean break between us. Just think of it as compensation for our relationship, she added. Absolutely not, I said. She made it sound so simple, but I could see Jason's expression darken. Rose, I thought you said you were giving me a company to run, he whined. Why are you giving it to him? Rose took his hand and soothed him. This company isn't anything special, honey. We can start a new one later, one that belongs to just the two of us. I felt sick to my stomach. Did she even remember that we built this company together after graduation? I had thought of it as a symbol of our love. It wasn't big, but I had poured my heart and soul into it. And what about her? She had only visited the office a handful of times since we founded it. Of course, she never really loved me, so why would she care about the company we built together? If I had wanted to profit from the situation, I could have just accepted her offer, but I was just so tired. I didn't want to be entangled with her anymore. I just wanted to end things quickly and on my own terms. The next day, my assistant burst into my office, looking panicked. Mr. Peterson, they're fighting. That pretty boy in MS. Anderson's people are fighting downstairs. When I got there, the whole floor was crowded with people. I saw Ashley and her entourage, along with a few other guys who looked like hired thugs. In the center of the crowd, I saw Jason, looking completely unhinged. Ashley, I'm going to kill you, he screamed. Without thinking, I pushed through the crowd and stood in front of Ashley, shielding her. I kicked Jason hard, sending him sprawling several feet away. I thought you were tough, I sneered. Turns out you only know how to pick on women. Make, you too. You bastards just can't stand to see me succeed, he shrieked. Jason scrambled to his feet like a rabid dog and tried to charge at us again. He and Ashley's men started brawling. Eventually, they pinned him to the ground, but he was still screaming and cursing. I frowned, confused. Hadn't I given him exactly what he wanted with Rose? We were supposed to be out of each other's lives for good. How was I ruining his happiness? Ashley showed me something on her phone. I was going to give this to you today, she explained, but I ran into him at the entrance. He must have heard I had it, because he tried to grab it from me. Ashley, if you show that to Rose, I'll kill you. Jason screamed. Jason, what the hell is your problem? I said, then nodded to Ashley's man. Take care of him. My assistant and the building security joined in, and soon Jason's handsome face was a swollen, bruised mess. His entire head looked like a pig's, and the threads coming out of his mouth slowly started to change. At first it was Make, Ashley, I'll kill you both. But eventually it turned into, Mr. Peterson, I'm sorry. I won't do it again, I swear. The thugs he had brought with him were long gone. Stop it. All of you stop, Rose shouted, storming out of the elevator. When she saw Jason's battered face, her expression immediately softened with pity. I really didn't want to watch this touching reunion. I turned to leave, but Rose's voice stopped me. Make, don't you move. What did Jason ever do to you to make you beat him like this? She demanded. There's a limit to jealousy, Make. Like you said, we're broken up. This is pointless. I almost laughed out of sheer anger. Rose was still deluding herself into thinking I was hung up on her. Rose, you always wanted to win, didn't you? Well, today I have a gift for you. Just then, Ashley stopped me. She held up her phone, opened a voice recording app, and was about to press play. The color drained from Jason's face, and he lunged for the phone. Ashley, don't you dare. Give that to me, or you won't even know what hit you. Don't play it, he shrieked. I had the security guards hold him down. He was screaming like a maniac, as if that recording was his lifeblood. Rose, you'd better listen to this, Ashley said, and press play. A man's voice filled the air. Jason, my man, you really did it. You've got that idiot Rose completely under your thumb. Not only is she sending you money every month, she's giving you a whole company. I gotta hand it to you, man. That's impressive. You actually convinced that dumb bitch to call off her wedding. The sleazy voice on the recording continued, and the room went silent. I remember when you first said you were going to sleep with her, I told you were dreaming. I can't believe you actually pulled it off. But you're ruthless, man. To do that to your own kid, using those methods behind her back. I mean, you wanted her money, but did you have to get rid of your own baby to do it? Shut up. It was Jason's voice on the recording. The real Jason, pinned to the floor, looked absolutely terrified. Stop it. Turn it off. Turn it off now. Rose, don't listen. It's fake. They faked it to set me up, he pleaded. But the recording played on, indifferent to his desperation. Rose, the dumb bitch from the recording, was now staring at the phone, her face a mask of disbelief. The recording kept playing. The hidden truths were finally coming to light. Did you drug her that first time? I knew she wouldn't fall for you that fast. I also heard you made some videos and sold them. When are you going to share with the rest of us? That woman is so pathetically stupid. You've got her wrapped around your little finger. Ha ha ha. Jason was losing his mind. Rose, don't believe him. Don't believe any of it. It's Ashley. You told me yourself. She's the daughter of a homewrecker. She's doing this on purpose to destroy our relationship. The expression on Rose's face was a chaotic mix of emotions. Shock, regret, anger, devastation. In contrast, Ashley looked like she was enjoying the show. She leaned over to me and whispered, "Not bad, right? It took a lot of work to get that recording. Rose deserved it. It's best to just let them tear each other apart." A long time passed after that chaotic day. Surprisingly, Rose never tried to contact me. Not that she had the time or energy, I suppose. I heard from mutual friends that she sued Jason and his family to get her money back, but he had already gambled it all away. Rose then sent debt collectors after him, forcing him to live like a rat in the sewers. Eventually, she had him arrested for assault and distribution of private material, and personally sent him to prison. In our social circle, her own reputation was completely ruined. After disappearing for weeks, Rose finally reappeared. She was much thinner, and she looked completely broken. She was waiting for me at the entrance to my office, and she forced a smile when she saw me. Fat tears streamed down her face, and her body trembled. "Make, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry," she sobbed. "Can you ever forgive me?" She collapsed to the ground, crying her heart out. I looked at her, my expression cold and empty. No, she had brought all of this on herself. I had already sold my shares in the company. There was nothing left between us. A weight had finally been lifted from my shoulders. But I never expected that Rose's attempts to win me back were just beginning. She started showing up wherever I was. She would have her mutual friends call me to tell me she was drunk and crying, begging for my forgiveness. A week later, a package arrived for me, forwarded by a friend. I opened the elegant box and found the wedding suit we had picked out together. A note was attached. Make, does the suit still fit? Should we tell our friends and family that the wedding is back on? I found it so absurd I had to laugh. I took a pair of scissors and cut the expensive suit to ribbons. My heart was dead, and now she wanted to plan a wedding. The next day, Rose showed up at my apartment and knelt on my doorstep for a full day and night, repeating over and over that she was wrong and begging me to give her another chance. I felt a violent rage building inside me, an impulse to destroy her as she had destroyed me. I threw the shredded pieces of the suit at her. Just go, I pleaded. Leave me alone. Leave yourself alone. I'm begging you. She stared at the ruined fabric, a look of genuine pain in her eyes. She slumped to the ground and began to sob. When that didn't work, she started spending a fortune on public apologies, buying up digital billboard space. Make, I was wrong. I can't live without you. I shouldn't have let my hatred and vanity make me say those horrible things. I didn't mean any of it. I know now that I fell in love with you a long time ago. I just realized it too late. It's over, Rose, isn't it? I said, pushing her away. This was all just bizarre. She clung to my arm, refusing to let go. Make, I love you. You only have one choice now. Marry me. I thought it all through. I've always loved you. I was just too proud to admit it because of Ashley. And then Jason tricked me, and Enough, I shouted, cutting her off. Are you insane, Rose? The Rose I had known, the one I had loved, had died the same day my grandmother did. Make, I was wrong. What did I do to make you forgive me? I only made those mistakes because I loved you. I just shook my head. There was no going back. I was done. She knelt on the ground, looking heartbroken and pathetic. Back then, you walked away without a moment's hesitation. And now, it was laughable. I had seen Rose for who she truly was long ago. Her perfect fantasy had been shattered, and like any fragile person, she was falling apart. She was desperately looking for something to cling to ease her pain. And when she looked back, she saw me. Make, it's you I love, she cried. But can I go back? No, I would not go back. I would never go back. But I never imagined that to get me back, she would go so far as to kidnap Ashley. The moment I saw Rose holding a knife to Ashley's throat, I knew she had completely lost her mind. Rose, you really learned some dirty tricks from Jason, didn't you? Ashley said, her voice steady. If you have the guts to kidnap me, why don't you have the guts to just kill me? What's the point of dragging Make into this? Shut up, Ashley. Don't provoke her. I yelled. Rose was wearing a white wedding dress. Her eyes were bloodshot as she stared at me. Make, I won't let you call off the engagement. I'm going to marry you. You broke your leg for me. You cleaned toilets. You knelt for 3 days and nights. I know everything now. You love me. Why won't you just admit it? Let's get married. Promise you'll marry me, and I'll let her go. She was getting more and more agitated, the knife pressing closer to Ashley's neck, drawing a trickle of blood. Stop dreaming, Rose, Ashley said calmly. We've spent our whole lives hurting each other, and we've dragged May down with us. You don't deserve his love. You've been trapped by the past, hating me, fighting me at every turn. Our parents' messed up lives brought us to this. Just let it go. Rose let out a wild, hysterical laugh. It's all because of you and your bitch of a mother that my life is ruined. I'm a murderer's daughter, and now even Make doesn't want me. I haven't been able to go home in years. Make, did you ever love me? She demanded through her tears. Yes, I admitted. I did. But what does that matter now? I don't love you anymore. Ice was water before it froze. My not loving you now was once all love. But what you're doing is pointless. I'm leaving this city for good at 8 o'clock tonight. I just want to get away. Rose had truly lost it. Her face was ashen, her lips were white, and her eyes were swollen and terrifying. When she heard my words, she collapsed to her knees. She crawled over and clung to my legs. Make, please, just love me one more time. Take me with you when you go. Please don't leave me. I can't live without you. I just shook my head, feeling nothing. Rose, stop torturing yourself. What's done is done. Even if you held that knife to my throat right now, I wouldn't even blink. Just stop. It's not too late to walk away from this. It is too late, Make. I'm ready. And with that, she drew the knife across her own throat. A warm gush of blood poured down her neck. She couldn't speak, and her eyes widened as if she were drowning, unable to breathe. In those few seconds, the tangled history of the three of us flashed before my eyes. Then, Rose collapsed to the ground, lifeless. After saying goodbye to Ashley, I moved abroad. The next time I heard anything about Rose was when a lawyer found me, holding her will. Mr. Peterson, he said, this is a list of all of Ms. Collins's assets. She left everything to you. I frowned. In addition to the inheritance, she also left this letter and this flash drive for you. I looked at the letter and the documents the lawyer handed me, which require my signature. I refuse, I said. Take it all back. Mr. Peterson, Ms. Collins was certain you would forgive her, that you wouldn't refuse. Donate it all to charity, I said. And please, burn the letter in the drive. Did Rose love me? Maybe. Maybe there was a small part of her that genuinely did. But the way our story began, perhaps the ending was always inevitable. For the rest of my life, I know I will meet someone better, and we will love each other with our whole hearts. For now, I just want to find a little happiness in a future that doesn't include her.